Ladies and gentlemen, the Blue Jackets are still technically alive after a huge 7-0 win over the Washington Capitals and a somewhat decent loss for the Habs tonight. It could have been better. They lost in overtime instead of regulation, but the loss itself keeps the Blue Jackets in it. So let's go over it. This was a completely dominant game by the Jackets for, I would say, almost the entire time. They scored 3 goals in the first, I believe, like 5-6 minutes of the second period. Got one in the third period. Really just dominant through the entire game. 7-0 win. Big for the Jackets. Some huge games from some unlikely folks. Obviously, James Van Riemsdyk scratched for a little bit, but he's been very good since coming back and had a goal and 2 assists tonight. Fantilli with 2 goals. I love it every time he scores. He is so fired up. Kent Johnson with a very nice-looking goal. Sean Monahan with a goal. Kent Johnson and Monahan also have an assist to go with that. And then we have a couple of big things happen today. Jet Greaves with the shutout and Zach Werenski breaking the franchise record for most defenseman goals in a season, breaking his own record because he is the best Blue Jackets defenseman ever. What I do want to talk about is, because we've talked about him so often, is Jet Greaves. He had another great performance today. Obviously, the shutout, which is huge. But that is now 4 games in a row where he's had a 900 or over, and 3 of his last 4 were over a 950. He now has a 921 on the season in 8 games and a 2.37 goals against. He's been fantastic. What I will say is that 6-foot height is extremely generous, dude. He looks 5'10", but I don't care as long as he's making saves. It doesn't matter. To me, at least. Another thing I want to talk about is the Blue Jackets' playoff chances. Still technically alive. Not great odds. Obviously, actually very bad odds, if we're being honest. The Canadiens have 88 points. The Jackets currently have 83. The Canadiens have played 1 extra game. They only have 2 left. They need to lose out. That's just simply the case. They can lose 1 more game in overtime, and that's it. That's literally it. They can literally just lose 1 more game in overtime, and the Jackets need to win the rest of their games in regulation. Actually, no. I think the Canadiens need to lose the rest of their games in regulation, and then the Jackets need to win out in regulation. The Jackets have 6 points available, meaning they can get up to 89. Canadiens are currently at 88 with the tiebreaker, and I believe regulation wins. Even if the Jackets do win their last 3 in regulation, I do believe the Canadiens will still have more regulation wins. And then the Canadiens also hold the tiebreaker against the Jackets for, actually playing the Jackets. The Canadiens beat us twice. We only beat them once. What I do think is crazy is how shit the Canadiens' goal differential is. It's a -21, and they have 88 points. The Jackets are a -6, which isn't great, but Jesus Christ, a -21, and you have 39 wins. I don't really know how that happens, but, good on them, I guess. It's going to be rough. I still don't think they make it. If they lose to, I believe their next game is Chicago. If they lose to Chicago and the Jackets win tomorrow, I'll believe. But until that happens, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's happening. Unless the Jackets, if they win tomorrow and the Blackhawks beat the Canadiens, I think they have a shot. But I actually don't think either of those things are going to happen. I think the Canadiens will beat the Blackhawks, and then the Jackets will probably lose tomorrow. Listen, it's hard to have faith in the Jackets. They don't surprise very often. They are who they are a lot of the time, but they've definitely been better this year. But I still don't want to put too much faith into them. It is. I can't help but feel a little bit of optimism. But you got to be realistic about it. The Canadians hold every tiebreaker, so it's really hard to see it happening. Because the Capitals will most likely have their starting goaltender back tomorrow and will be playing Alex Ovechkin. Well, I think the people saying that it's stupid to be excited about this win because they had their third stringer net. Well, so did the fucking Blue Jackets. They both were playing technically AHL goalies tonight. One scored 7 on an AHL goalie, the other scored 0. So in that case, they can go fuck themselves because they were bad and the Jackets weren't. That's all I got to say about that one. Now, tomorrow will probably be a different story. They will have a much better goalie in net, and they will also have the best scorer to ever live playing. So, I do think they probably lose tomorrow, but that is okay. I've come to terms with it. But what I do want to keep talking about is Adam Fantilli. Adam Fantilli has been great, not just in points. Obviously, he got 2 tonight, which is huge for him. I believe now he has 27 goals. I don't think he hits 30, but it is very possible. He does cross that 50-point mark, which is huge for him. Laid out Leonard at, I believe in the first period, just absolutely bodied him and then went back down the ice and scored 10 seconds later. He's just got so much. He kind of knows, and I don't want to sound like I'm glazing him here, but like he just kind of knows he's the shit sometimes. You know, like whenever he scores, that he just loves scoring so much. And I love that. And he knows that everyone loves when he scores. Like, he's just so good, and I love it. Another good player, by the way, Kent Johnson, who had a pretty good game. Everyone had a pretty good game today, I would say. But Kent Johnson's goal was disgusting. That thing, ew. Defenseman just got ankles broken, slid completely way too early, and then, I just slid it 5-hole. Dude, Ken Johnson's so gross. He's got some nasty hands. 23 goals for him this year. 32 assists, 55 points in those 65 games he played. Imagine if he played the whole season, dude. It'd be so great. He didn't, but, that'd be so great if he did. What I do want to see, because he has fallen a little under a point a game, is I want Zach Werenski to finish a point a game. It's like some arbitrary thing I just want him to do for some reason. He's 1 game under, or 1 point under, but I just really want him to do it. He's so close, and it'd just be a cool thing to see. I just want Zach to finish with 80 points in 80 games. I think it's very realistic. I do think he probably does hit that. I think he gets probably 3 in his next 2. Or 4. Sorry, he missed 1 game. I want him to have 81 and 81, at least. I think he probably does get 4 points in his next 3. I don't know who's starting yet tomorrow, but don't think it'll be Jet, because he has played 3 games in 4 days. It'll probably be Tarasov, which is another reason why I think we'll lose. Yeah. Tarasov, man. I hope for him that he wins tomorrow. Because he's a likable guy, He's a chill dude. It's just like, he's so just been really bad. I'm not even trying to dick on the guy, but 65 games played, he has 19 wins. Yes, the Jackets have been bad, but damn, dude, that is really bad. 19 wins in 65 games is so bad. In 65 career games, he has 7 wins in 20 this year. He is really bad. And then he gets pulled against Ottawa in his last game. He had a .667. Let in 2 goals on 6 shots against. It's, man, I don't know. I don't know what you do with him. I feel bad for the guy, but Elvis is under contract. Jet is clearly the best goalie of the three, and Tarasov had an awful year. But I do want him to get a win. It'll probably be his last game as a Blue Jacket tomorrow. So I'm hoping for him, praying for the guy. I just don't really see it happening. I really hope it does, like I said. But if I had to guess, the Blue Jackets' playoff chances will most likely be done tomorrow. It was a good season, though, so far. It was one that I actually enjoyed watching, the Jackets. I enjoyed watching them. It's been a minute since I actually enjoyed watching them. Probably the 1920 season was the last time I actually enjoyed watching them. So it's been a nice little change of disappointment, and it's now not disappointment. It's now, I guess you could say, it's surpassing expectations.